Well, hello everybody and welcome to Mercury 80. I've got a different idea today, and I've been looking at a lot of the photographs that we take, and you know how we get this imagery in, we get the totems, we get looks like tree peeping from faces, and it's energy that comes from a tree and it seems to be presenting itself as people. So I've got the video camera, the camera there that I'm filming on today, and then I've got 35mm camera. I'm going to take the same photographs and the same image and just see if we get the same thing through all three lenses. Don't know whether it works, no idea, because a lot of people find it very difficult to to see them, or either they would say, oh, you've just added these. If you had any idea how this editing process works, you'll know fine well you can't stick these in because of where they are. They're behind trees, they're coming from other trees, and there's this loss of imagery. It's as if suddenly things become very blurry, and I understand it's because of energy that this is created. I don't know. So we'll try it out and we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to try and do is take a photograph that is exactly the same as on here. So I'll hold this camera over there, try and get the imagery almost the same. Of course, this is a lot brighter than this lens, but it's almost the same, and I'm just going to take that shot. That's number one. Okay, so the idea will be we'll see if that matches all three at the same time. Now there's a thing. What I'm going to do is the image that you see here, I'll try and try and get that exactly the same. It's hard to see this because of the light, it's compensating for the light. So, but it is exactly the same image. We're looking in exactly the same place. Just focus on there. There we go. All tangled up. It is quite interesting, isn't it? I'm wondering if we'll do a zoom. So if I rotate this down here a bit, and so I'll now try and zoom in on that, get the same image. So how far in? A bit further. I think we're about there. Out of touch. There we are. this camera's zoomed out a little bit. Zoom it in a bit, that's better. So we'll see how they turn out. So I'm just going to change this so it's heading in the same view. And what I'm going to do is, you may or may not see me, I'm going to take some photographs looking back in this direction. See what happens. So I can zoom in on this for you. There you are. No idea what it was. Just can't see it properly. Gone. I just wanted to show you this tree. Never seen a tree like that before. It's like the infinity sign, isn't it? It's a bit cool. Super cool. Alrighty. Gone out of the wind a bit there. That It's really, really breezy. We've got a lot of strong wind here. Somebody asked me, and I believe it was Greg, about crop circles. Are the family in any way, not necessarily this family, shall we say there's a new people, are the new people in any way connected with crop circles? So I asked Athenian this question, and she said no, they are not connected. However, they are created by energy. So my question is it man that creates these crop circles? Now I myself watched, a while back I watched a program where they tried to recreate crop circles, and they could to a certain extent, but they were not as perfectly round in the perfect shapes. I think the most famous one is the spiral shape, where there are several circles all in what looked to be a spiral helix, almost like a spiral or a helix. And it was tried, but they couldn't recreate it, because when the imagery of that was taken from the air, there were no trails into that at all. No trails. But when they tried to recreate it with humans, they left a trail walking in and walking out. And human beings just could not do it. They could not recreate it in the same way. What Athenian describes to me is it's created by downdrafts of energy. Where the energy emanates from, I do not know. She's saying, actually, some form of propulsion. It's some form of propulsion. So my question is that human? Is it in any way human? No. And the Janu do not create crop circles. The Janu people. So my next question would be, I don't know if you would know the answer to this, Athenian. Well, that's a silly thing for me to say. I think she knows the answer to most things. My next question would be, are they markers? Are crop circles some form of markers? And I get a yes to that. And she's saying, but not for us, not for the Janu people. Okay. So there. It's a little mystery. I'm going to leave you with that little mystery. And you may like to wander with that where you will. I think not all is as it seems on this planet, and the more we open our minds to inquire and see what is happening, the more questions that we seem to want to ask. And I go back to something that I frequently refer to, is the corridor of doors. So it's the long corridor in front of you, and down each side of it are a set of doors, and you open the first door on your right and you look in there, and that is another corridor full of doors. So you close it, you go back, you open the door on the left, and in front of there is another corridor of doors, and that's what I think this is like. And what I'm trying to do here is to learn a little bit more. That's what this channel is about, is to try and learn a little bit more about the people, related things, the elementals, the things where I believe they're all connected in one way. But there are some mysteries that we lump together because we don't understand, say crop circles. We lump them together because we don't understand what they are. Are they in any way connected? So that's one less, they're not connected. And it's just things like this, that there's lots of mysteries, vortexes. I mean, this sort of energy that seems to be above the northern part of Utah, the Sherman farm, all of that, and it's all sort of been lumped together with things that people don't understand, as in, is it connected with Bigfoot? And I don't think it is, but I do believe it is connected with something, other beings, and I will say this, other beings, possibly interdimensional, got no proof of that, but possibly interdimensional. So say you had other beings that slip in and slip out, and Athenian has spoken of this, Ahochida spoke of it as well, things that slip in and slip out that don't belong here. And I go back to the reports that people have of all sorts of strange animals that theoretically don't exist. Now, Athenian has just said to me, that's one of our jobs, to protect you from them. To create a barrier from things that don't belong to things that do belong. Is that correct? Energetically. So she's saying they will not pass us. But there are things here, I think, that they probably struggle to be rid of, and maybe they have had would that be right to say that you've had an agreement to keep apart, not cross paths, things like Dogman, etc. Right, so she's saying they shouldn't be here, they don't belong here. Has the government, I'm not going to say which government, everybody knows which government, a government, have they interfered with genetics regarding those beings? So she's saying they tried to and it was a failure. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting, isn't it? So Amagaba had a birthday at the end of May. So did CO. Happy birthday. So I should sort of say my purpose really on this channel is to discover what we can, to learn. I'm fascinated by all this. What they show us is amazing, and they have given us quite a lot of things. You can see what we've seen on the videos. These are gifts to us. These really are. So what I'm saying is, there are a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of things we don't know, and that's the purpose of this channel, is to explore these, to see what we can learn. And I'm certainly up for it, and if you're up for it, then we'll keep going. So from me in a windswept forest, have a great day, be kind to each other, and I hope life's good to you. We've had, in the UK, we've had a good month. The last couple of weeks of May was absolutely amazing. The country really came together with the Jubilee of our Queen. And yeah, the country came together. It was a great, very, very hard work. But a great sort of 4-day festival of events, and it's nice that we can all come together, because there's too much angst, and people sometimes like to cause trouble where there is none. And so it was really nice that everybody joined together. There were street parties, every village, every town I went through was festooned in flags. Everybody was very happy, they were partying. I think the hospitality trade, hotels, pubs, bars, that stuff, I think they had a fantastic time, really did. So after the sort of 2-year slowdown with COVID, they've maybe been able to make a little bit more money back. But it was a great time for people to come together and put their differences aside and just party and celebrate in the history of this country, instead of, as we so frequently do, shooting ourselves in the foot and looking back on all the negatives. This is a positive. So from a very, 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 very positive forest, bye.